I've never known a crowd to be this quiet. This is an exciting day, right? Have a round of applause. Good afternoon and welcome, awardees, honored guests, families, faculty, students, and staff, to the annual College of Medicine and School of Graduate Studies Awards Day ceremony. My name is Jeffrey Putman, and I'm the Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs. On behalf of our President, Wayne J. Riley, and our entire faculty, staff, and administration, allow me to be the first to congratulate all of the awardees. It is particularly fitting that we hold this event here in Alumni Auditorium because, after Thursday, our graduates will join their ranks and become Downstate alumni. That's right. The College of Medicine traces its roots to 1860, the year the first medical school class graduated. And we commend you, the 163rd graduating medical school class and the 56th graduating class from the School of Graduate Studies. Congratulations. Before we begin the awards portion of our program, I'd like to invite the Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. F. Charles Brunicardi, to the stage to bring greetings.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so pleased to be here to congratulate all the graduates and especially those students receiving awards today. This is really such a remarkable event which acknowledges the hard work and commitment of our students. That commencement season is one of my favorite times of the year, where we get to celebrate the amazing achievements of our graduates. The selection of award recipients each year is a difficult decision, and it is a tribute to the class of 2023 that so many of you are here today in person or with us virtually to celebrate your achievements. Each of you has contributed to the life of the College of Medicine and the School of Graduate Studies. And before the first award is presented, I would like to applaud your commitment to medicine and research. Before we begin, and I know Interim Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. David Christini, joins me in this, I would like to thank each and every one of you in the class of 2023 for choosing SUNY Downstate College of Medicine and the School of Graduate Studies for your education and training. I know we do not say it enough. Your collective efforts have made SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University a better place, not just for yourselves, but for future generations of students. And we hope as alumni, you will continue to help us improve and make SUNY Downstate even better. Once again, we congratulate all our students for their fine performance, and we all look forward to celebrating with you Thursday in Coney Island. Thank you.
We will now turn to the presentation of awards. As recipients are called up, we ask that they come to the stage to receive their award, and then, after receiving your award, we ask that you come to the center of the stage to have a picture taken. There's a mark on the floor exactly where to stand. We begin with the awards of excellence and acknowledgement of honors from the School of Graduate Studies, which are presented by the Interim Dean of the Graduate School, David Christini. Dr. Christini.
Thank you, Dr. Putman and Dean Brunicardi. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the School of Graduate Studies to recognize some awards for our graduates with the PhD degree this year. The PhD is a tough road, and just getting it done is a big and something to be really proud of. We're proud of our entire graduating class. We have a few sets of awards today. The first are the annual Research Day Awards. Research Day happened a few weeks ago, and on Research Day, students present posters and give presentations, and they are awarded best posters, best presentations for a number of different categories. The awards are open to the entire graduate school, not just the graduating class. We've already given out the awards, and a subset of the awardees are graduating this year. And so today I'm going to read those names. If any of you are here, please stand up. But we're not giving out award certificates because, as I said, the awards have been already named for the entire graduate school. So for the research day, the recipients who are graduating this year are David Havlicek, Sangmi Park, Shveta Petraprekar, Milena Rodriguez Alvarez, and Marcia Spagnardi. So let's thank those graduates. The second award is called the Liberalitas Award, and I'm going to read to you what's in the program. So this award is for academic altruism, a central value of the School of Graduate Studies, established in 2013 in memory of Drs. Mary Makowski and Vaha Amassian. This award recognizes a graduating PhD student who was viewed by her or his fellow graduate students as the most significant peer resource. This individual's character and generous contribution to others on the campus promises a future where they are always a highly sought-after colleague. So this was voted on by her peers, and the recipient this year is Natasha Bobrowski-Curie. Natasha is here. Good. And with that, there's one more graduate student award. It's given out by the Robert F. Furchtgott Society. You have all probably seen by now, passing through the Clarkson Avenue entrance, the Nobel Prize area. If you haven't, find it on your way out. Robert Furchtgott is a Downstate faculty member who won the Nobel Prize, and there's a society named after him. And the president of the society, Dr. Hillary Michelson, is here to give out the graduate student award by the Furchtgott Society.
The Robert Furchtgott Society was established to honor the legacy of Dr. Robert Furchtgott, who received the Nobel Prize in 1998 in physiology or medicine for this research that was done actually on the Downstate campus, which led to the discovery of nitric oxide as a signaling molecule. As part of its mission, the Society has established the Furchtgott Award for Excellence in Research, which is to be given to a graduate student whose doctoral thesis is considered to be the most outstanding among the cohort of doctoral graduates this year. And I will say that there was an incredible amount of depth and sophistication amongst the body of work that was produced by our graduates, and so I'm sure this was a very difficult decision. This year's recipient of the Furchtgott Award for Excellence in Research is Dr. Sangmi Park. Is Sangmi here? So Dr. Park's thesis is entitled Type 1 Diabetes and Lung Disease, investigating the effects of hyperglycemia in the lung. Dr. Parks used animal models, mouse models of lung disease to examine the deleterious effects of high glucose on pulmonary function and identified new potential mechanisms by which high glucose can induce pulmonary fibrosis. And we hope that this does translate into new treatments that might become available for patients who suffer from lung disease and diabetes as comorbidities. So Dr. Park, please come up. I don't have an award in hand, but the graduate office will reach out to you to give you your award. But come over here and we'll at least take a picture.
Thank you, Dr. Christini and Dr. Michelson. Our next section of awards are the College of Medicine Honor Scholarships and Achievement Awards, presented by the Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. F. Charles Brunicardi.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Each year, the Office of the Dean has the honor of granting several awards. Although the criteria for choosing these recipients vary, they all include academic achievement. We will begin with a series of endowed scholarships. The Endowed Honor Scholarships, the Jadwin Honor Scholarships, and the Yudkowsky Honor Scholarships are awarded to students who attain a high level of academic performance. So would Jigar Govind, Joseph Meyer, and Wen Ting Yang please come up to get your Endowed Honor Award. Would the following people please come forward to receive the Jadwin Honor Award? Arifa Koja, Kathleen Simons, and Shannon Frank. Congratulations to all of you. Would the following people please come forward to receive the Yudkowsky Honor Awards? Gabriel Esteves Inoa, Andre Cobrin, and Jae-Woon Shin. Congratulations on your outstanding accomplishments. The next awards come from the American Medical Women's Association. The American Medical Women's Association awards the Glasgow-Rubin Certificates of Commendation for Academic Achievement to women who graduate in the top 10% of their medical school graduating class. Would the following women please come up to receive their certificates? Gianna Cirone, there's a lot. Joanna Eichler, Kira Gassman, Isabella Junta, Frada Gold, Lauren Gruffy, Bana Hadid, Cassandra Heaney, Anina Kumar, Saskia Nageli, Radhika Patel, Charlotte Ruby, and Tatiana Yatsenko. Congratulations. Wow. The Merck Awards come from the well-known pharmaceutical company to honor those students who have displayed excellent academic achievement throughout their 4 years of medical school. This year's recipients include Isabella Junta, Ryan Martyr, and Teguru Tempo. And Alexandra Beltsy. The Fred H. and Sadie Sirkin Achievement Award is bestowed on a female student who has excelled in medical school. This year's recipient is very deserving, and our recipient this year is Sierra Grigsby. The Eugene B. Fagelson MD Scholarship was established by former Dean Eugene Fagelson. This merit scholarship is awarded to a graduating medical student who has demonstrated academic excellence in pursuit of his or her career. Shivani Hewitt, please come up and receive this special award. Our next award, the Trude Perlman Award, was endowed by Dr. Bernard Perlman, a graduate of Downstate, class of 1955. This award is a living memorial to his wife in that it honors her efforts in supporting her husband and raising their 3 children as Dr. Perlman attended medical school and completed a neurosurgery residency. Each year, nominations are sought from the graduating class. There were multiple nominations, all of which are worthy. I am pleased to announce that this year's winner is Catherine McGee, who is nominated by her husband, Jonathan Amaro Barone. There are also several honorable mentions listed in our program for this award. We know that medical school is difficult, and we deeply appreciate the sacrifice all our family members make so students can be successful. Congratulations. The College of Medicine Dean's Outstanding Student Award recognizes exceptional student leadership, commitment to the student body, and to SUNY Downstate. This year's recipients are certainly well-deserving. All 3 of our honorees this year have served on the Med Council. There's Dr. Kingsley Cruikshank. Kingsley originally served as the president of class of 2022 on the Med Council, but became a member of your class after taking a year to complete an MPH at Yale. Ian Winthrop. Ian served as your Med Council class president all 4 years. I remember Ian holding a Zoom council meeting. He was inside a boat. I was like, that's interesting. Alexandra Greenberg. Alexandra Greenberg has served as a member of your medical council for all 4 years, served in significant roles with the Brooklyn Free Clinic, which she's done an outstanding job, and spent the last year serving in the difficult role of bringing the president of Greater Med Council for all 4 years. Let's take a moment and give a round of applause for the amazing work of these 3 exceptional students. The last 2 awards are extremely special for Downstate and me. The State University of New York Chancellor's Award for Student Excellence is an award honoring students throughout the SUNY system, there are 64 campuses, who have best demonstrated and been recognized for the integration of academic excellence with other aspects of their life, which include leadership, campus involvement, athletics, career achievement, community service, or creative and performing arts. These awards, which were bestowed by SUNY Chancellor John King, are given annually to up to 2 SUNY Downstate students. This year, we're honored that 2 of our College of Medicine students received this special recognition. This year, Joanna Eichler and Alana Engelbrecht received this significant award. Would you please join me at the podium? Just a little bit about each. So Joanna is currently a fourth-year medical student at SUNY Downstate College of Medicine. She graduated from Cornell University in 2019 with a Bachelor of Science with high distinction. There, she majored in human biology, health, and society. Her passion for medicine took her directly to medical school here in Brooklyn, where she discovered her love for internal medicine, medical education, mentorship, and patient advocacy. She hopes to work in academic medicine with an underserved patient population, hopefully here. In her free time, she enjoys trying new recipes, jogging, and reading nonfiction. So, let's see. Alana Engelbrecht grew up in the small suburb of Pleasantville, New York, before pursuing a degree in biology and Spanish at Haverford College in Pennsylvania. While applying to medical school, Alana volunteered at a free medical clinic and worked as a clinical research coordinator at Mount Sinai and NYU Langone hospitals. During her time as a medical student at SUNY Downstate, Alana has taken an active role in student government while pursuing her interests in medical education, research, passion for community engagement, and a goal of becoming a pediatrician. I'm honored to present these awards to these outstanding students. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Brunicardi. Another round of applause for Dr. Brunicardi. Thank you. Our next set of awards will be presented by Dr. Susan Kane.
Okay, so I'm not Dr. Seth Langley, as it says in the program, but I'm here. So I'm really happy to introduce the awards for excellence and leadership in teaching. I want to say that all of the people who have tutored and done PBL work for us have been just so instrumental in helping our students. The two we are recognizing today, in particular, are outstanding examples of these students who have helped our students succeed. So, obviously, the first one is Maisha Ahmed. Is she here? Maisha has been a tutor for anatomy and medical knowledge, but the past 2 years she's been working as a PBL facilitator for our Bridges to Medicine students. And although she could have been paid for that and been compensated, she refused that and did all of it voluntarily, which I think is just very admirable. Our next student, there we go, is Michael Derringer, who has done just about everything in terms of helping us with tutoring. He has tutored in medical knowledge. He has tutored students preparing for step 1. He's helped students that are in the clerkship years doing the shelf prep exam. He's also been Bridges PBL facilitator, and I believe he actually has written or helped produce some PBL cases for that. So I'd like to give this award to Michael Derringer.
Our next set of awards are from the Alumni Association, the Executive Director, Stephanie DiBrienza.
Hello, everybody. So the first award is going to be the Dr. Warren E. Anker Award. This award was established in honor of Dr. Anker by his wife, Joan, and recognizes students that demonstrate a set of human qualities which are rare and highly prized in any profession, especially medicine. These qualities are, but not limited to, authenticity, integrity, and the ability to collaborate. And, and the Dr. Joan, Mrs. Anker, who is helping in this process, and out of all of the applicants, she chose Charlotte Ruby. So congratulations. And our final award is the Nathan Spitzer, MD, 25 Honor Achievement Award in Cardiovascular and Pulmonary Medicine. This award was established by Dr. Adrienne Siegel, daughter of Dr. Nathan Spitzer, class of 1925, in memory of her father for a graduating medical student who exhibits excellence in cardiovascular and pulmonary medicine. The award recipient is Hannah Every. Hannah Every is a student who excelled during her medicine rotations, obtaining honors in 3rd and 4th year. Hannah is interested in pursuing cardiology, and she will start her internal medicine residency at ISMMS, Mount Sinai Hospital in New York.
Our next awards are presented by the Student Center, Mr. Adam Bergman and Skylar Hook.
Hello. We're presenting 4 awards today for the Lifetime Membership Award. These students have been involved with the Student Center since their first year here. They've helped us out of so many times, I can't even... to make us look good, they don't want to make us look good. Thanks to Dan, who's one of our recipients. He's helped us get the intramural program back up and running this year. I could not have done that without him. Omar has been a staple in the Student Center in the rate room and giving me feedback all 4 years and helping us make a lot of improvements. Maisha was the president of the Student Center Governing Board and has been on the board for 3 years. She was also the orientation coordinator for the year under her, and truly her late-night text messages with her and phone calls helping me make decisions. And Mitchell Bain, where's Mitchell? He's been truly a rock, especially this past year, helping us out with all the events on campus, truly being a role model to everyone, and yeah, I'm gonna, sorry.
What he said, come on up.
Our next set of awards, Dr. Carla Booten-Foster.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really honored to present these next 2 awards. The first one is the Zahra Saeed Scholarship. This was established by a retired Downstate faculty member in honor of his late wife, who he describes as a passionate advocate of empowerment through education for women. It was awarded, this year it is awarded to a graduating woman who embodies these characteristics and who overcame cultural, religious, or socioeconomic hardship. And I remember sitting and meeting with the faculty member when he decided to give this award to SUNY Downstate, and he was very particular about the recipient of the award because this is someone who would carry the legacy and the name of his wife. So I am honored to present this year's recipient to Hindi Herbs. This next award is the HEAL Award, or the Health Equity Advocacy Leadership Pathway. And this award is presented on behalf of Dr. Roman and on my behalf. And I remember we worked together to just think about starting this in 2017, and then 2 students said, this must be done and it shall be done, and it was done. So the HEAL pathway is designed for students who are committed to addressing health disparities by promoting health equity and tackling issues pertaining to social determinants of health in their community. And this award recognizes graduating students who have been outspoken champions for health equity, committed to affecting change at SUNY Downstate through outreach, education, research, community engagement, and patient care. And this year's recipients are Alexandra Ali Greenberg and Andrea Martinez.
Our next award, and ignore the program for a moment, we're going to go a little bit out of order. For the Clinical Neuroscience Pathway, Dr. Lisa Merlin.
The Clinical Neurosciences Pathway, founded in 2004, is Downstate's first pathway. It is a program of advanced studies that provides opportunities for students to indulge in a variety of neuroscience-relevant activities beyond their required coursework. Mandatory activities include a seminar series in the second year of foundations, as well as the ever-popular mystery case of the month, competition required of our third and fourth year members. Now, while every Downstate student is welcome to participate in any of the CNS pathway activities, regardless of pathway membership status, only those students who pass all mandatory neuroscience and neurology coursework in our College of Medicine curriculum and participate consistently in all required academic components of our CNS pathway throughout their time at Downstate are recognized formally by the school as graduates of the Clinical Neurosciences Pathway. In 2007, we had our first graduating class. At that time, 4 students were declared graduates of the pathway. This year, I'm pleased to announce that there are 20 of you who met our requirements for graduation. Of these 20, 4 are pursuing careers in neurology, 3 are going into psychiatry, and 1 matched neurosurgery. The remaining 12 have chosen careers in a diversity of fields, including internal medicine, pediatrics, general surgery, vascular surgery, diagnostic radiology, interventional radiology, ophthalmology, dermatology, and rehabilitation medicine. Our students clearly recognize that a solid education in the neurosciences is valuable no matter what clinical field you pursue. This year's graduates of the Clinical Neurosciences Pathway are Jonathan Amaro Barron, Mitchell Bain, Alexandra Belzy, Isabella Kiriko, Emily Cowan, Michael Derringer, Anna Fomachova, Blake Gershon, Freda Gold, David Havlicek, Allison Hernandez, Perry Kerner, Masha Koleshnikova, Aaron Kuwang, Isaac Lipsky, Raymond Noonan, Jacob Robinson, Charlotte Ruby, Menachem Shimonov, and Nicholas Sullivan. My hearty congratulations to all of you.
We'll now move on to the departmental awards. The first department, Excellence in Anesthesiology Awards, Dr. Dennis Demakulangan.
So every year, the Department of Anesthesiology gives out 2 awards to 2 deserving medical students, graduates. 1 award for clinical excellence and an award for excellence in research. The Dr. Joseph Giffen Award for Clinical Excellence is named in honor of Dr. Joseph Giffen. Dr. Giffen was a professor of anesthesiology and was executive vice chair in the Department of Anesthesiology at SUNY Downstate and was chairman of anesthesiology at Long Island College Hospital. Dr. Giffen was a physician of multiple talents and outstanding clinical skills. He was also a dedicated educator. This award is given to the student who exemplified the qualities personified by Dr. Giffen. This year's recipient performed exceptionally well in his 3rd-year clerkship and 4th-year elective rotations, displaying exceptional clinical skills and strong work ethic, professionalism, and excellent fund of knowledge. The award is given to Matthew Becker. Yeah. Matt will pursue his anesthesia residency training with us here at SUNY Downstate. The Dr. Gerald Wolf Award for Excellence in Research is named in honor of Dr. Gerard Wolf. Dr. Wolf was a professor of anesthesiology and vice chair for research. Dr. Wolf was a researcher, mentor, lecturer, and author. His research involved the investigation and analysis of flammability of materials, equipment, and gases in the operating room. This award is given to the student who exemplified the qualities personified by Dr. Wolf. This year's recipient was involved in several research projects in our department that were presented in national meetings. The research involved research and complications of AV fistulas in hemodialysis patients and in obstetric anesthesia service acute pain management for cesarean sections. This year's recipient of this award is Shivani Hewitt. Shivani will pursue her anesthesia residency training at Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut. Good luck to you.
Our next awards are from the Department of Cell Biology, Dr. John Kuby and Dr. Sam Marquez.
So I want to tell you a little bit about Jackie Jackway. I hope you graduating students appreciate the high quality of education you got, including anatomical education in gross anatomy, neuroanatomy, histology. This is, I think, due largely to a great culture in teaching, handed down from faculty member to faculty member through the students. And no one, in my opinion, contributed more to that great culture than Jackie Jackway. One small example of her high standards was insistence on practice lectures for every course that she was involved with every faculty member going through practice lectures. If you want to hear something about what the standards were, ask Dr. Eva Kramer about her practice lectures before she gave her initial lectures. In addition, Jackie was a very, very clear personality, loved by students and faculty. One feature of the admiration and memorability of Jackie was that students frequently who went through first year and through medical school went off to other places and come back to Downstate as faculty or residents. And I witnessed dozens of these students come into Jackie's office when they were much more advanced and just reminiscing about their times as a student. And finally, Jackie was, one thing we all miss, was every year caricatured in the student-faculty show. And there was a great competition among the students about who would be the one this year to do the caricature of Jackie Jackway, which were always hysterically funny and typically on the mark. So Jackie was a great mentor, teacher, and friend, and we miss her.
So I know the recipient of the next two awards I was asked to, and by the way, congratulations, class of 2023. You are awesome, awesome. So the Cell Biology Award of Academic Excellence recognizes the performance, the overall performance in the anatomical, histological, cell biology, and neuroscience. And her performance really speaks loudly as to her work ethic, perseverance, and really her facile knowledge in all these areas. So that award goes to Nina Kumar. Oh, you want me to go again? Okay. So, thanks. Okay, it's one award at a time though, right? Okay. So the next award is Excellence in the Anatomical Science Education. And that is where I first met Nina. I know your particular class, which I'm actually writing about, had the unique, whether it's positive or negative, you had the unique opportunity to experience anatomy in the lab in person for 2 units, Unit 1 and 3, and then the famous March 17th that we went remote, and then we didn't have it for the following Units 4, 5, and so that was difficult. And I was also teaching, directing the gross anatomy course in the summer to the 109 students in the Allied Health Sciences, and Nina Kumar, along with her classmate, played a major role in helping gross anatomy pivot to remote teaching. I don't want to embarrass her, but I will. She developed the Zoom format content for me, creating the unprecedented virtual labs to replace the in-person dissection. And we would brainstorm in the evenings. I don't like this. These pictures don't do depth. And so we can do this, we can do that. And it was a remarkable package that we carried it on for the following 2 summers. She also helped to develop online quizzes. She demonstrated how to record in video to the dyads of students that, in my summer anatomy course, I pair all my students, so they have dyads throughout the 12-week course. This helps to reinforce and retain the anatomy content that they're supposed to. She presented this innovative work at a professional medical education meeting. Nina took the MS4, look at that, the applause for you, Nina, it's amazing, it's great. Nina took the MS4 elective to help gross anatomy faculty teach anatomy in the College of Medicine, where she actually came down in my unit to the labs and helped out for 17 labs. Greatly appreciated. She also participated in a tag team partner to teach a lecture for the class of 2026. So the recipient for the Excellence in Anatomical Science Education goes to Nina Kumar.
Next department is the Department of Dermatology, Dr. Sharon Glick.
Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to present the Elizabeth M. Carr Award for Excellence in Clinical Dermatology to Ariana Moreno. Ariana was the first scholarship recipient of our Derm Department's Summer Diversity Elective in 2019. She completed a research year at the Rockefeller University between her 3rd and 4th year. Her research primarily focused on acral melanoma, hidradenitis suppurativa, and psoriasis, and which resulted in numerous publications. She was inducted into AOA, but what I'm so pleased about is that Ariana will be joining our derm residency program at Downstate. Should I take the picture, please? Dr. Shalita. Okay, I'm very, very pleased to present the Alan R. Shalita Award for Excellence in Dermatological Research to Christopher George. Chris spent a year in the Netherlands studying actinokeratoses, risk factors, and prevalence. I'm especially pleased to report that this study has been accepted to the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, one of the most prestigious journals in dermatology. I had the opportunity to work closely with Chris during his time at Downstate. Chris was inducted into AOA. I know that Chris will be a great asset to the field of dermatology and wish him success in his derm residency at Stanford.
For the Department of Emergency Medicine, Dr. Linda Fan.
Hi, everyone. I'm pleased to be here with Dr. Gerald Gernsheimer, and we are honored to present the Society for Academic Emergency Medicine's Medical Student Excellence Award for 2023. SAEM represents excellence in leadership in academic emergency medicine, and its values include idealism and quality in all endeavors, nurturing and camaraderie, and diversity among members. This year's award goes to Jason Chuang, and Dr. Gernsheimer will say a few words about him. Come on down, Jason.
So I had the honor of meeting Jason when he was a first-year medical student. The Alumni Association had a roundtable kind of thing for students interested in EM, and he sat at my table. About 2.5 years later, I was teaching a PBL physical exam lab, and Jason came in to help me. They felt I needed help, and they sent Jason in as my near-peer educator. And I said to Jason, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm going to do emergency medicine. And I said, could I please be your mentor and advisor? And he graciously said yes. He actually wanted Dr. Fan or Dr. Quinn to be his advisors, but he said yes. And so I wound up being his internship and residency advisor. And then when he did his clerkship, EM clerkship, he worked with me several shifts, and he always helped me get out of trouble in Epic, which I always seemed to get into trouble with. And he helped me get out of trouble in Healthbridge, which I always get in trouble with. And we gave him honors for his rotation, which he really deserved. He not only was very good to me, helping me get out of Epic, but he also was very good to the patients, and he worked really hard. And then I thought I finally got rid of him after he matched, and he got his first choice. And then one day he called me up and said, I need, for the research experience requirement, I need someone to advise me and be my mentor. And I said, well, I don't know anything about research. All I know how is to write prescriptions and fix lacerations. But he said, no, I trust you. So we did the project together, and he did a really good job at it. And then I thought I finally was rid of him. And then I was working in the Brooklyn Free Clinic, and he was there. And at the end of the shift, I had to send out my prescriptions. And again, I screwed up Healthbridge. And Jason came and helped me send out prescriptions, and we stayed like 2 hours after the clinic was over. So I think Jason's going to be great. He matched with his first place, and it's been an honor being the advisor to Jason, even though he's probably helped me more than I've helped him.
For the Department of Family Medicine, Dr. Crystal Marquez.
I have the pleasure of doing this award for the Hyman Mernstein Excellence in Family Medicine Award. This year, I get the honor of presenting this award to Allie Greenberg. Like a lot of people know Allie, she's a passionate individual. I've learned probably, like Dr. Gernsheimer said, I've learned probably just about her, learned from her just as much as she's learned about me over these last 3 years. We've had the privilege of going to a national conference, and she's like, so how much do you want me to do of the presentation? I let her do the whole thing, and she did a great job. And that's what I believe of her in the future, is I do think that she'll be a powerhouse, someone that will probably do a lot of equity into our healthcare system, and I look forward to seeing where she goes in the future. But I have to give to you. But I didn't
The Robert Furchtgott Medical Student Research Award, Dr. Hillary Michelson.
I'm back. Okay. So the Robert F. Furchtgott Society also honors, in addition to honoring a graduating doctoral student also honors a graduating medical student who has produced exceptional research during their medical school training. And these students are selected by a committee to receive the Robert F. Furchgott Medical Student Research Award. The committee wanted me to let everyone know that the committee was very seriously impressed with the quality of research that's produced by all of the medical students that had applied for this award. And so they decided as a group to acknowledge 2 students with an honorable mention in addition to this year's award recipient. So the 2 students receiving an honorable mention are Dr. Vivian Au and Dr. Takesha Moranci. Dr. Au worked on a project assessing the role, and I just want to take a minute or two because these students did incredible research, and I want to just describe it a little bit to you. So Dr. Au worked on a project assessing the role of intraoperative ultrasound in improving surgical outcomes in patients with oral tongue cancers. I think this research has significant potential to impact treatment and outcomes in patients with oral tongue cancers. So Dr. Au, thank you for your contributions. Dr. Takesha Moranci chose to do a demanding basic science research project after receiving the Alumni Association Scholarship supporting a year of research. She investigated the post-transection facial nerve regeneration in the rat. And this was a proof of concept study with an overarching goal to create a medical device that would assist in treatment and recovery from facial nerve paralysis. Both of those students did exceptional work, and we wanted to honor them with an honorable mention. The recipient of this year's Furchgott Medical Student Research Award is Dr. Tuguru Tembo. Again, Dr. Tembo was extremely impressive. He played an integral role in developing the analytical design and interpretation of results in a project that assessed how the in vivo tumor immune microenvironment phenotypes correlate with inflammation and vasculature to produce immunotherapy response in patients. And this, as seen in bedside reflectance confocal microscopy. His work resulted in a paper published in Nature Communications, something all of us aspire to. And that is in itself an outstanding achievement. So I'd like to invite our recipient, Dr. Tembo, and both Vivian and Takesha to come up. Of course, we don't have awards in hand, but we're going to hand, these are financial awards, award monies that will be handed by the College of Medicine. So come up, please.
For the Department of Medicine, Dr. Moro Salafu.
Good afternoon, Dean Burkadi. I'm really very pleased to present the Eli A. Friedman Award of Distinction in Internal Medicine to 4 deserving students. These students really did very well in their clerkship in internal medicine. But I want to tell you a little bit about Eli Friedman. He's one of the pioneers in internal medicine in the country in his days, in the 1960s. More importantly, he was one of the pioneers in nephrology who started the first dialysis in the United States in Brooklyn at SUNY Downstate Medical Center. So he's well known for his contributions to nephrology and also for student education. He is the person who anyone could go to and then, get a diagnosis from a patient. You didn't understand anything in internal medicine, you went to Eli Friedman, you got an answer for your question. He embodied everything that anyone wants to be as a doctor. He was compassionate. He would sit with students and challenge them to diagnosis, examine patients, listen to them. So these awards are designed to be presented to students who have that embodiment of internal medicine, the ability to be able to sit with the patient, talk to the patient, listen to the patient, get a diagnosis, and then treat the patient to the best of their ability. So the recipients for this award, Nicole Bogdan, Joanna Aikla, Alexander Imas, and Dov Vash, but unfortunately he's not here today. I want to say a little bit about each of these candidates based on what we have seen in their evaluations. So these are excerpts from what other people, other faculty members said about them. So Joanna, this is what faculty members said about you. Joanna is one of the best medical students. She's thoughtful, smart, compassionate. At some point, she actually was able to handle the same load of patients as with the interns and be able to manage throughout the day without any particular problem. So we are very pleased that you've been selected to receive this award. She's going to be going to NYP Presbyterian Hospital for internal medicine residency, so congratulations. For Nicole, this is what they said about you. Nicole is one of the sharpest, most dedicated medical students I have ever worked with to date. She has excellent fund of knowledge, applies her clinical skills very well, ranging from robust history taking to excellent initial and daily physical exams to assess patients' changing status and make the appropriate diagnosis. So congratulations. She'll be going to internal medicine residency at Mount Sinai Hospital. And then for Alexander Imas, this is what they said, the faculty said about you. Alexander is one of the smartest and most thoughtful students. He's exceptionally self-motivated. He is well-read, and they actually use the word voracious reader. So this is very good. So congratulations. He is also going to be going to Mount Sinai Hospital for his internal medicine residency. So congratulations. And our last candidate, Dov, again, these were the comments, very outstanding student, excellent, read a lot about medicine and took part in daily rounds and, listened to patients and did all he could to help the team out every day. So he's not here to hear these words, but this is what the faculty said about him. So congratulations to all of you.
Our next awards are for the Department of Neurology, Dr. Brian Anziska, Dr. Nura Jacoby, and Dr. Lisa Merlin.
The recipient today is not here, but I just want to stress that Ethan Kidder obtained the highest grade in the shelf exam in the entire class, and he's going to neurology. He'll be doing a residency at Stony Brook. Let me talk about Dr. Rabiner, who I think is one of the great figures of American neurology at really one of its most difficult times. Between World War I, or even before, and 1950, neurology was in a not very good state in this country. Psychiatry had taken over as the major neuroscience brain study. The chairman of neurology at Mass General, in fact, switched to psychoanalysis. Dr. Rabiner, who was born in, I think it was actually 1890 rather than 1892, and who passed away at a very old age in 1986, graduated from the University of Albany. As was so common in those days, he published in several fields. He was a neurologist, an all-round neurologist. He even wrote several papers in psychiatry or neuropsychiatry. His most famous incident that occurred with him was when he met the great Dr. Babinski, originator or discoverer of the Babinski reflex, at a conference in France in the early 1920s. He was a very junior neurologist at the time. They got into a fierce argument about the physiology of the reflex. We still don't know what it is. And Babinski, after this really screaming match that occurred, gave him his reflex hammer, his famous reflex hammer, which he brought back to this country. It's still here somewhere. No one knows where it is, but it's here. What Dr. Rabiner did was he detached the head of the reflex hammer so that it was parallel to the stem, and you could carry it in your pocket rather than distending the pocket, which you did before. Useful, still used today. He became the first director of neurology at Kings County Hospital in 1954 until about 1957. And this is a picture of him giving rounds in the old, one of the older rooms. I think it was now a chapel, or became a chapel, no longer one. And he was a very flamboyant, interactive kind of person. When he retired to Florida, he went to the University of Miami rounds, and people described him vigorously questioning lecturers, etc. So I think we should all, really, Kings County was the major neurology center of Downstate at the time, and he was the first person who really had a full-time position in neurology in the Downstate Kings County complex.
So the other neurology awards that we have come from the American Academy of Neurology. The Academy sponsors a medical student prize for excellence in neurology. This prize is awarded annually to the graduating medical students who show the most promise for a highly successful career in neurology or a related field. Our school is allowed to award this prize to up to 3 graduating medical students because we run 3 neurology residency programs, 2 in adult and 1 in pediatrics. In this year's graduating class, there are actually 12 students pursuing neurology training and 2 more going into neurosurgery. So this wasn't an easy decision for us to whittle it down to just 3, plus the 1 Rabiner. But the 3 students that we selected for the Academy Award, we selected them because they not only got honors in neurology and scored above 90th percentile on the NBME exam, but they also were members of the clinical neurosciences pathway, very active members. So our 3 awardees this year, David Havlicek, come on down. David's going into neurosurgery. He matched Ohio State. Isaac Lipsky, who sadly isn't here today, but he will be doing neurology at Zucker Northwell. And Raymond Noonan matched neurology at NYU Grossman. So this is, give these to David. That's David's. David, we got stuff for you.
This as well?
The A and, yeah, the gift bag and the, give them both to David.
Okay, thank you.
And then give these 2 to Ray. So the Academy Prize consists of a medal, a reflex hammer, a T-shirt, and a certificate, but the Department of Neurology supplements the award with a check because we know that here in New York, it's money that matters. Congratulations. Come, let's take a picture. Wait, this is yours too. Just in case you guys didn't catch the name of the recipient of the Rabiner Award, it was Ethan Kidda. Congratulations, Ethan. He couldn't be here today.
For the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Takia Swebi. Oh, sorry.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ms. Swaby, Clerkship Coordinator for OBGYN. Dr. Peters is away doing a simulation with your underclassmen right now in another building, but I'm here to represent my department. I do not like public speaking, but here we go. And congratulations on the job well done, y'all. Okay. The first award I would like to present is Excellence in Obstetrics and Gynecology will be the Morris Glass Prize. Dr. Glass was a Downstate graduate who became the first chairman of the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department at Albert Einstein in 1955. The award is given to the student who was the most outstanding clinically during the 3rd year an OBGYN rotation. The recipient for this award is Giovanna Castillo.
All right.
Giovanna will be moving on to Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, South Nassau. Do we take a picture now? Okay. The second award from the Department of OBGYN is the Abraham J. Ranji Prize. This award is given to the student who is most likely to succeed in the field of obstetrics and gynecology. First of all, they'll all succeed. Let's be clear. This award will be given to Gayatri, okay, I'm gonna butcher her last name, please bear with me, Then Kataraman. Please forgive me, I'm sorry. Gayatri will be moving on to Riverside Community Hospital in California. Thank you.
For the Department of Ophthalmology, Dr. Insi Dursu.
Hello. I'm pleased to present this year's Excellence in Ophthalmology Award to Gabrielle Gabarati. Gabriel spent a good amount of time past 2 years with us in our department. He always came to the clinic and the operating room prepared. He was very well liked by staff and residents, and his research led to some presentations as well as a paper. And he demonstrated true passion for ophthalmology, and he passed his passion quickly to more junior students by mentoring them. So I congratulate Gabriel for his accomplishments and present this award to him on our behalf. Also, I'm very happy to know that he's coming and joining to us as a PGY1 in this July.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the Department of Orthopedic Surgery, Dr. Bill Urban.
Okay, so the Pavlidis Memorial Award was established in memory of Dr. Christopher Pavlidis, who received his medical degree from Downstate and later went on to teach orthopedic surgery at Downstate in the 80s and 70s, all right? In his honor, one graduating medical student entering orthopedic surgery is selected to receive recognition for their efforts. While we had a record number of qualified graduating students entering orthopedic surgery, one student who distinguished himself on our rotations and in our lab is the recipient of this year's award. It gives me great pleasure to present Juhair Alam, who will be joining us next year in our residency program with the 2023 Christopher Pavlidis Memorial Award.
For the Department of Otolaryngology, Ms. Nicole Frazier.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nicole Frazier, Education Coordinator for ENT. On behalf of Interim Chair Dr. Sidney Butts, faculty and residents of the Department of Otolaryngology, I would like to present the award for Outstanding Medical Student Performance in Otolaryngology to Ms. Vivian Oh. This award is for a student who has done the most outstanding work in inpatient care, outpatient care, operating room experience, and student presentations at departmental grand rounds. We would also like to congratulate Vivian on her matching to New York Presbyterian Columbia University's ENT residency program.
Department of Pediatrics, Dr. Stephen Wadowski.
Good afternoon. I'm truly pleased to present the Dr. Richard L. Day Award for Excellence in Pediatrics. Just a bit of background, Dr. Richard Day was the first full-time chairman of the department, chairman and professor of pediatrics at Downstate when it was newly incorporated into the State University of New York. He built pediatrics here as a major clinical department of national importance, serving as chairman from 1953 until 1960. He then went on to become chairman of pediatrics at University of Pittsburgh and built up that department. Dr. Day's career was distinguished by his contributions to the recognition of kernicterus, which is damage to the brain of newborns caused by elevated bilirubin, and the description and understanding of autonomic neuropathies, which became known as familial dysautonomia, or Riley-Day syndrome. In 1986, Dr. Day was recognized with the distinction of receiving the Howland Award, the American Pediatric Society's highest honor, for his achievements and for being the, quote, quintessential skeptical inquirer, unquote. The Department of Pediatrics identified an exceptional student deserving the R.L. Day Award for Excellence in Pediatrics. In addition to excelling throughout medical school, she did exceedingly well in her pediatric rotations and sub-internship at Downstate, along with being engaged in scholarship and involvement with the campus and local community. The educational leadership of the department described her simply as outstanding. Expecting that she'll continue to follow Dr. Day's legacy as a quintessential skeptical inquirer and becoming an exceptional pediatrician making a difference through major strides in pediatric health care, it is my pleasure to bestow the 2023 Dr. Richard L. Day Award for Excellence in Pediatrics to Nina Kumar. Nina matched into pediatrics at the Zucker Hofstra School of Medicine, Cohen Children's Hospital.
For the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Dr. Sanjeev Agarwal.
Good afternoon. The Soon Roe MD Memorial Award is dedicated to preserving the memory of Dr. Soon Roe, a highly esteemed physician who completed his residency at NYU, Rusk Rehabilitation, and subsequently joined Downstate in 1976. Dr. Roe's commitment to the field of physical medicine and rehabilitation extended throughout his career, as he passionately trained PMR residents at Downstate until 2014. In recognition of Dr. Roe's invaluable contributions, this prestigious award has been established to honor his legacy and is bestowed upon a graduating medical student who has exhibited exceptional dedication and enthusiasm for the field of physiatry. It seeks to acknowledge physicians who are expected to make significant and enduring contributions to the advancement of the discipline. By presenting the Soon Roe MD Memorial Award, we aim to celebrate his memory, and it gives me great pleasure to present Laureen Chan with Soon Roe Memorial Award.
For the Department of Psychiatry, Dr. Jeff Viola.
Congratulations, everyone. Try not to make it go to your head. Antia Gomez is this year's recipient of the award for Outstanding Achievement in Psychiatry. Nice to hear that applause. Antia is the child of Mexican immigrants and grew up in an agricultural area of California. And from those humble beginnings, she was able to attend college and ultimately obtained a PhD in Latin American Studies before changing direction and applying to medical school. Her supervisors clinically were unanimously impressed with her work, her connection and empathy with patients. As one of the few transgender women of color in medical school in the United States, she has been an advocate for transgender inclusivity at Downstate and has made presentations on a national level on this subject. She was a unanimous favorite among other well-deserving nominees for this award, including Mitchell and Alexandra, who are here today. Congratulations, Antia. She'll be returning to California as she begins residency at University of California, San Francisco.
The next recipient is not here, so on behalf of the Department of Radiology, I'd just like to announce the winner for the Lucy Frank Squire MD Award for Excellence in Radiology, Blake Gershon. Round of applause for Blake. Our next awards are from the Department of Surgery, Dr. Pandros Kougias.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a true pleasure to introduce the three awards of excellence on behalf of the entire Department of Surgery, starting with the Clarence Dennis Award for Surgical Scholarship. For those who don't know, Dr. Dennis was the chair of the Department of Surgery for almost 21 years, from 1951 to 1972. He was a pioneer cardiac surgeon, among the first to establish and use a heart-lung machine to perform a cardiac bypass surgery. He was a true visionary, and to just offer some perspective, the cardiac assist devices that are implanted today use the same principles he used way back in the 60s, so true visionary. We had a very large number of students who this year applied for either a surgery residency or a subspecialty in surgery. So the process of selecting somebody from this award was very competitive, but by consensus, the recipient for this award is Nassim Hezgur. Nassim. Nassim matched in a very competitive integrated plastics residency in Mount Sinai, if I'm not mistaken. The second award I will present is the Samuel Kuhns Award for Clinical Excellence in Surgery. Dr. Kuhns was the chair of this department from 1972 to 1977, and he was the ultimate academic surgeon, a Fulbright scholar and innovator in organ transplantation. He developed the kidney perfusion machine used for organ preservation and performed the first kidney transplant between non-identical twins. And he also established the role of methylprednisolone in combating acute organ rejection. Among the first African-American chairs of an academic department of surgery. He was also the person who founded our very own division of transplantation, for which we're very proud of here in this department. The recipient of this award is Kimanthy Jacoby. Kimanthy. Kimanthy matched in an also very, very competitive integrated thoracic surgery residency in the University of Maryland. Congratulations. Very competitive. And last award on behalf of the department is the John Crowley Award for Outstanding Surgical Research. Dr. John Crowley came to Downstate in 1988, but before that, he had established himself as an international expert in the fields of surgical metabolism and obesity surgery, way before anybody else was familiar with the importance of the field. In 1983, he co-founded the American Society for Bariatric Surgery. He had authored numerous book chapters, more than 60 peer-reviewed papers, many of those in very high-impact journals, such as New England Journal of Medicine and British Medical Journal. And he continued his research in our school until his death in 2000 2019. He was born and trained in Sweden, and he never lost his Scandinavian work ethic and open-mindedness. His office was a sanctum where students and residents could discuss shortcomings and aspirations, in addition to their research projects. This year's two recipients for this award are Lindsay Hafner and Michelle Key. Lindsay matched in a very competitive residency at University of Massachusetts, and Michelle matched at also a very competitive surgery residency at Montefiore. Michelle wasn't able to make it today, but she'll receive her award.
For the Department of Urology, Dr. Jeffrey Weiss.
Downstate students never cease to amaze me. We had an amazing class this year, 7 pre-urology students, all of whom did great in the clinic and great research, and all of whom I'm very happy to say matched. But this year's consensus award for excellence in clinical and research performance in urology goes to Carl Ray June. Born in Haiti, Carl Ray's family emigrated to Brooklyn, where he quickly ascended to the top of his local school district, eventually graduating as valedictorian at Wingate High School in the shadow of this campus. Carl's successful secondary educational career landed him a scholarship to Union College and then to SUNY Downstate, where Carl and I became acquainted through a series of research projects. He updated and analyzed a large database of patients from the Brooklyn VA hospital to co-author 3 outstanding abstracts, including variances in pathologic findings at Biopsy and Equal Access Veterans Administration Hospital following the 2018 USPSTF PSA screening recommendations, which was presented at the AUA 2023 as first author. Is finasteride use associated with high-grade prostate cancer? A more complicated picture, manuscript in progress. And negative PSA velocity and its impact on patients with elevated PSA, also presented at this year's AUA in Chicago. The best news is that Carl Ray matched with us in urology at his home program, and we are thrilled that he will spend the next 5 years with us. Congratulations, Carl.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Now we're going to go back to the one we skipped. To the Medical Educator Pathway Certificates of Merit, Dr. Lee Eisner.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry that we had to skip around. We had gross anatomy lab teaching this afternoon. So the co-directors of the Medical Educator Pathway, Antonia Quinn, John Kuby, and I are pleased to celebrate the graduation of our 2023 class. The medical education and pathway experiences of this class cohort were unprecedented during a challenging period. When their foundation's activities and later clinical responsibilities were postponed or modified, they helped faculty to pivot to remote teaching of our foundations and clerkship students. Each MedEd Pathway graduate has paved their own individual path, developing different areas of focus and specialized skills in the medical education arena. The COM 2023 students who completed the pathway requirements during this time are a select group. They demonstrated perseverance, resilience, and generosity to give back to the College of Medicine through teaching and curriculum development, scholarship, and institutional service. The first award, the Medical Educator Pathway Certificate of Merit, recognizes graduated students who demonstrated time and commitment to completing the pathway requirements in near-peer teaching, medical education scholarship, institutional committee service, and mentorship of junior students at the College of Medicine. All MEP students have collaborated with peers, faculty, and administrators in committees that contribute to the education policy and curriculum for the medical school. They have represented SUNY Downstate at national and regional meetings to present their medical education work, publish their work in peer-reviewed platforms that facilitated important, timely discussions with medical educator faculty and administrators from around the country. The collective contributions of this year's awardees to the College of Medicine include, but are not limited to, the following. MedEd Pathway students help develop and facilitate many team-based learning or other interactive sessions for primary care, medicine, pediatrics, research methods, and evidence-based medicine classes when we had to rapidly switch to remote teaching. These are now ongoing parts of our foundations and clerkship curricula. They develop novel medical education resources for students to learn foundational biomedical sciences, including teaching gross anatomy digitally instead of through body donor dissection. Other students did research to evaluate the effectiveness of in-person versus digital dissection and assessments in gross anatomy. They coordinate the recruitment and faculty development for the near-peer clinical educator program, teaching physical exam, PBL, or clinical skills to their junior peers in the Foundation's curriculum. MedEd Pathway students developed and facilitate interactive virtual and in-person resident as teacher sessions on the importance of professional role modeling for the medical students. These MedEd Pathway students played a major role both in the pivot to a virtual transition to clerkship curriculum early in the pandemic and the current in-person week-long transition to clerkship. Many of the sessions are developed and led by the MedEd Pathway students. Some even have assisted in developing the new transition to residency curriculum with Dr. Antonia Quinn. Another student played a major role as a member of our steering committee to guide the direction that the pathway has taken over the past 3 years. Over the next decade, medical education will be transformed, and these are the young physicians that we want by our side to help us accomplish this. Please recognize the following students who received the Medical Educator Pathway Certificate of Merit. Katie Ahn, Frada Gold, Michael Goldberg, Nina Kumar, Deepti Mahajan, Heidi Sosa, and Esther Yu. Two MedEd, wait for two more students. Two MedEd Pathway students who participated in many of the activities already mentioned are due special distinction. This award recognizes graduating students who made outstanding leadership contributions to promoting the goals of the MedEd Pathway. The recipient students demonstrated commitment, excellence, and maturity in their achievements in the area of teaching, education administration, scholarship, curriculum development, and mentorship. We are proud to have awardees this year whose specific contributions have added value to the impact that the MedEd Pathway has made in our College of Medicine curriculum. Both of the following students had an overlapping and significant impact on developing, continually improving, and facilitating rotating groups of medical students through the primary care clerkship small group discussion session on cultural humility under the guidance of Dr. Crystal Marquez of the Family Medicine Department. From her first year at Downstate, Allie Greenberg has been guided by principles of inclusivity and community to lead through medical education initiatives and advocacy. She became engaged early in the health equity and social justice goals of her medical school through her participation in the social determinants of health curriculum and the work group formed by Dr. Booten Foster to improve curricular content. Her major MedEd Pathway activity has been her role in the continual quality improvement of the now required primary care clerkship sessions that focus on discussion of cultural humility, intersectionality, and implicit bias through a case-based approach to encourage culturally appropriate and sensitive practice. By the end of her first year, she was already co-facilitating these small group discussion sessions and continued to facilitate the almost monthly sessions for the next 3 years. Allie was the student lead for the Transition to Clerkship Curriculum Week Committee with faculty and administrators in 2021, and she has facilitated sessions every year since. She participated in the College of Medicine accreditation process through her work for the Independent Student Survey and has represented Downstate in her work on educational initiatives with the New York State Academy of Family Physicians. Allie Greenberg. Laureen Chan joined the primary care clerkship cultural humility team a year later to grow and mature in her medical educator skills and creativity for participation in still other initiatives. Under Laureen and Allie, the clerkship cultural humility session structure and content has been transformed to update cases and provide engaging platforms to encourage clerkship student discussion. Laureen has co-facilitated many of these sessions for the past 2 years and helped teach clinical skills to her junior peers in foundations and transition to clerkship, many more hours than was required by the pathway. She joined Dr. Elizabeth Cherniak in Maimonides to develop a research initiative on using a culturally sensitive medical and social history tool with neurology patients. She has shared her work at multiple medical education conferences. Even as recently as 2 weeks ago, on the brink of graduation, Laureen still volunteered to join a faculty team to stay involved and improve curriculum on pain management and opioid addiction. Laureen Chan, Lanyan Chan. Please recognize all of the graduates.
We now proceed to the Faculty and Staff Awards. To present the first award for Foundations of Medicine, Dr. Riccardo Bianchi.
Thank you, and good evening. So first of all, just looking around, my memory goes back to 4 years ago. We all know what happened then, and now look at where you are. So congratulations to everyone in the class of 2023. We're really proud of you. Thank you. So it's with great pleasure and gratitude that I have the opportunity tonight to present the award for Outstanding Educator in the Foundations of Medicine for the year 2022-2023 to Dr. John Kuby, a renowned neuroscientist and an experienced educator. Let me say a couple of things about Dr. John Kuby. So as you have in your booklet, this award is determined by the results of the course evaluation completed by the second-year class and reviewed by a Dean's Committee. It recognizes outstanding teaching in the Foundations year. And in the students' feedback evaluations, Dr. Kuby received excellent reviews for his teaching and caring of students in Unit 6. He taught more than 10 lectures there that were appreciated by students, and he was praised for his organization and teaching of the neuroanatomy as subunit director in Unit 6. Dr. Kuby also, over the years, has brought innovative approaches into the teaching of neuroanatomy, which have been absolutely helpful to students. And for example, I want to take an extract from the students' feedback. Dr. Kuby's atlas were very helpful, as well as the practical review with all the professors in the anatomy lab. Thank you for your dedication to our learning. Quote. Dr. Kuby contributes also extensively in the PBL as a facilitator. A student remarked, great facilitator who shared relevant and interesting personal experiences while indirectly leading the group towards the goal of PBL without directly giving us the answers, the idea of PBL facilitator. Lastly, the College of Medicine leadership appreciates Dr. Kuby's collaboration to deal successfully with the flooding emergency this past January, an unforeseen event that put at risk the students' learning. Dr. Kuby's efforts in reorganizing the teaching in neuroanatomy in the gross anatomy lab was essential to get the second-year students back to lab in time to prepare for and to take their exams. So congratulations, Dr. Kuby. Thank you.
Can I say something very briefly? Well, it's incredibly gratifying. Sometimes we get wrapped up in ourselves and think that we're working alone and unappreciated, but that's disabused. And it's abused frequently when the administration, fellow faculty, and students come to help us out. This was radically apparent last winter and during the flooding, and Dr. Brunicati and staff helped tremendously. And also 2 years earlier, when you guys were second-year students, when we had to try to teach neuroanatomy remotely, and we had a great cooperative effort from our neuroanatomy faculty, from the administration, and from the students. So thank you very much.
For our next set of awards, Dr. Elka Jacobson-Dickman and Dr. Jason Lazar.
We're a team. So we're going to start with the Outstanding Educator in Clinical Years. The description is written for you. And this is for Dr. Michael Reinhardt, who I know is going to be very bashful in receiving this award. Dr. Reinhardt serves as a clinical assistant dean, director of geriatric psychiatric fellowship program, co-director of the Brooklyn Initiative to Develop Geriatrics Education, and the associate director of the Center of Excellence for Alzheimer's Disease. Despite all these leadership roles, we were so pleased when he decided to join our clerkship leadership team as the clerkship director for Primary Care 2, which is geriatrics and palliative care. In the short year and a half since joining, he's taken that baton forward with unabashed dedication to progress. He has implemented several critical advancements for our students, including an interprofessional education structure and innovative telehealth training with hands-on experience. This is so integral to caring for populations who face challenges with accessing medical facilities, particular to older adults. Dr. Reinhardt is also among the few clinical educators who deliberately integrates humanities into his course requirements, a practice that has been shown to increase empathy, clinical acumen, and professional wellness. His humble leadership skills are evident to our clinical education team and have been appreciated in his several meticulously executed faculty development offerings. I would like to share just a few quotes from student survey feedback, if I may. Dr. Reinhardt is so wonderful and accommodating. Thank you for teaching us a different perspective on health that we had not considered before. There was a wide variety of health professionals, such as physical therapists, who delivered lectures to provide their unique experiences. Dr. Reinhardt was an excellent example of patience and empathy with his unique patient population. Supportive of students' well-being, cares for each patient genuinely. This rotation is imperative prior to embarking onto residency. And finally, thank you for being so understanding and welcoming of our students. Please help me in congratulating Dr. Reinhardt. So I'll go on to one more before passing on to Dr. Lazar. This is the Outstanding Educator of the Year from a clinical affiliate faculty. Dr. Lida Ader. Dr. Ader serves as the Brooklyn University Hospital Pediatric Clerkship Site Director. Over the last decade, Dr. Ader has had several publications on promoting professionalism among trainees, on OSCE culture in pediatrics, and on enriching residents at risk for performance challenges. Throughout her career at Maimonides and then Brookdale, she has always been picked for the most critical departmental and hospital committees, including her current tenure as a member of the High Value Practice Academic Alliance at Brookdale. Dr. Ader runs her rotation meticulously and is a consummate role model of professionalism. She prioritizes understanding our SUNY Downstate specific curriculum and our LCME requirements, and demonstrates commitment and dedication that embodies the underpinnings of our winning relationship with One Brooklyn Health. Dr. Temitope Jose, the SUNY Downstate Pediatric Clerkship Director, describes the pediatric leadership as a literal ship. He took the helm in 2020 and was tasked with steering this course through turbulent waters of the COVID epidemic. Dr. Tope describes Dr. Lida Ader as a person who welcomed him warmly and has always been willing to share her vast knowledge and experience. Furthermore, he explains that Dr. Ader is dedicated to providing an educational and enjoyable experience to his medical school students from Downstate. Her efforts are noted and appreciated by our students, who report on block that they receive feedback that is both useful and valuable, and that Dr. Ader is always available to them. A few direct quotes, if I may. Dr. Ader did a great job of using different assignments to teach us important skills that will serve us well in the future. She is always forthcoming with her comments so that we can continue doing what was good and improve what needs improvement. She shared her thought processes in the different cases we discussed to help us to become better doctors. I really learned a lot, and I'm so grateful for the time she put in. Please help me in welcoming and congratulating Dr. Lida Ader.
My constant struggle, better off or better on? I think better off, actually. Dr. Franziska Velchak, please stand up and be recognized. There are two major attributes of a skilled clinical teacher of medicine: the science of medicine, that is communicating to students the knowledge essential for the diagnosis of disease and the treatment of patients, and the art of medicine, intimate compassion for patients, the cultivation of humanistic attitudes towards one's students. The U.J. Carroll Award for Clinical Excellence commemorates a physician, teacher, and humanitarian who personifies SUNY Downstate's tradition of blending both attributes. Dr. Velchak is this year's U.J. Carroll Award winner for clinical excellence. Please come up. I'm going to ask her chairs, Dr. Kugias and Dr. Wadowski, to stand as well in honoring this physician. Dr. Velchak grew up of humble means in, I hope I got this right, Ilocos Norte, in the northern part of the Philippines. Sur. Even I'm one of her students. She was the first in her family to become a physician, having attended the University of the Philippines College of Medicine, the top medical university in her country. She emigrated to the United States, completed a surgical residency at St. Clair's Hospital Medical Center, and subsequent training at SUNY Downstate. She rose through the academic ranks to professor of surgery and pediatrics in 2014. Over the span of decades, Dr. Velchek has been a pillar of excellence in patient care, student and resident education and mentorship, and a devoted medical missionary. She has simply been the backbone of pediatric surgical expertise in Brooklyn at multiple hospitals, including SUNY Downstate, Kings County, Methodist, Wyckoff, etc. Her expertise as a surgeon is matched by her passion and devotion to the patients and students and residents. Due to her efforts, the program had an unparalleled success in surgical residents' acceptance to pediatric surgical fellowships. Dr. Velchek is an exemplary model for our students, all of our students, but especially women. She was a trailblazer, entering a world of pediatric surgery where there were only men in the surgical specialties. She has received multiple accolades and has served numerous leadership roles, including founding and leading the Society of the Philippine Surgeons in America, president of the Brooklyn Surgical Society, an executive council member for the New York Surgical Society, chief of pediatrics and pediatric trauma for SUNY Downstate Medical Center, Kings County Hospital, and Long Island College Hospital, and she is an honorary fellowship in the Philippine College of Surgeons. She served as a lieutenant colonel with the U.S. Army Reserve Corps from 1987 to 1998, and she served as the acting chief of pediatric surgery with the Walter Reed Army Medical Center during Operation Desert Storm. She has volunteered her time to care for sick children globally in countries such as Croatia and in her homeland, the Philippines. Her pediatric surgery is filled with a place in the medical world, not only because of her professional skill, but because of her unselfish spirit, which led the crowning light to a natural success. You know, it's only fitting that Dr. Velchek receives this award, because after all, you, Carol, was a mentor of her. Your chairs, Dr. Kugias and Dr. Wadowski, as well as the entire Downstate community, join me in congratulating Dr. Velchek. A couple of words as a background for our Professionalism Awards. Professionalism is one of Dean Brunicardi's top 3 priorities. It's well known. And in 2021, the College of Medicine launched a series of initiatives to enhance our learning environment and to elevate professionalism across our entire campus. We formed the Learning Environment Committee, a multidisciplinary group that strategizes to accomplish these tasks. We implemented the Kudos and Concerns platform for not only reporting disruptive behavior, but also exemplars of professionalism. This website is tended to by the Rapid Response Team, which emergently addresses any difficult issues. We have developed an annual symposium focused solely on our learning environment and enhancing professionalism. And last year, we began our Professionalism Awards. And for our first award,
I think I have, okay, that's okay. Okay, this is my great pleasure. The first award in Excellence in Professionalism is going to Miss Sandra Mingo. As everybody knows, clearly, Miss Sandra Mingo is a coordinator in the Office of the Registrar. She's involved heavily in many of our most important committees, including AOA. Ms. Mingo has had more independent kudo reports than any other individual since we began this program. It would take quite a bit of time to read them all, but I am going to have a lot of fun, at least sharing a few gems. Beginning with, Ms. Mingo is a hidden gem on campus. Ms. Mingo's timely emails and positive attitudes keep me on top of deadlines. Ms. Mingo's time and effort is greatly appreciated. Someone referred to her as the exceptional Sandra Mingo. Sandra is one you can always count on at Downstate. She emulates the best of human behavior. She is kind, caring, attentive, and deeply cares about her students. Thank you for everything, Sandra, with many exclamation points. I am writing this kudos in support of Miss Sandra Mingo, who has been nothing short of an exceptional administrator at Downstate. I've sent her more than enough emails over the course of the past year relating to away rotations, etc., etc. And in all encounters, she has been nothing but extremely timing and unequivocally professional. When I met her in person once, I could tell that she wore many hats and excelled despite being pulled in so many directions. I'm going to skip to the end. She is a high-value employee who is emblematic of Downstate's commitment to excellent service. I would like to add that the gift of pronoun lanyards that was given to each student at transition to clerkship this year, this was supported by Student Affairs, but was entirely Ms. Sandra Mingo's conception as a message of our Downstate mission for inclusivity, a gesture that I and our students greatly appreciated. Please help me in celebrating Mrs. Sandra Mingo. Woo!
okay, one more. Dr. Ellen Berkowitz, please stand up and be recognized. Although she needs no introduction, Dr. Ellen Berkowitz, a psychiatrist by training, serves in the College of Medicine as the Associate Dean for Medical Education. Additionally, she is an early career advisor for junior medical students and the clinical advisory dean, one of the most popular, I might add, for students in their clinical years of training. Dr. Berkowitz is the chair of the Grades Appeal Committee for the undergraduate medical education clinical years and also leads special accommodations for our students, a job she recently assumed. It is very evident that Dr. Berkowitz cares deeply about the well-being of her colleagues and students and almost always puts their needs before her own. She was also a person for whom high quality and extensively written kudos seemed to pour in on our Kudos and Concerns website. Just to read a few. I've had the pleasure of working with Dr. Berkowitz for the past several years and can confidently say that she is one of our most supportive, kind, and generous people that I have ever met. Another entry. Not only is Dr. Berkowitz an excellent educator, but she is also an incredible human being. She's had a positive influence on my life, and I'm truly thankful to have had the opportunity to work with her. She always goes above and beyond to ensure that her students are happy and successful, and is always willing to lend a hand. I look forward to staying with Dr. Berkowitz and cannot recommend her enough. I have no doubt that she will continue to make a positive impact on the lives of those around her. Dr. Ellen Berkowitz is an absolute star within the faculty. She strives to make the lives of her students as good and full of meaning as they can be, and challenge us to be our best. Her support and her belief in us is invaluable and greatly appreciated. There's more. In nearly 3 years that I've received her guidance, she has consistently optimized my chances of success. Though she is very approachable and kind, she is also frank in a helpful way. She pointed out areas that I could work on, set tangible goals for my improvement. What also makes her exceptional is how regularly she works beyond the expectation of her duties. Even the small things, such as responding to emails on weekends, always being flexible with meeting times, and never arriving late, make Dr. Berkowitz stand out amongst so many great clinical advisory deans. You know, given these comments, it is ironic. We really try to be incredibly thoughtful about what we do here. And yet, this year's winner of the Excellence in Professionalism Award, Ellen, is really a no-brainer. Come on up and congratulations.
For our final awards today, special recognition from the class of 2023, I'd like to call up Ian Winthrop. You can applaud for him.
Hello again. So on behalf of the class of 2023, we want to give special recognition to some unsung heroes that have made Downstate feel a little bit more like home over these last 4 years. Our first special recognition goes to Nigel Andrews at the registrar's office. Nigel, thank you for your patience, calmly clearing our holds, and allowing us to focus our anxieties on our education.
Thank you.
I particularly appreciate it. The second to Adam Bergman. I already see her heading up here. Adam, thank you for your constant enthusiasm and support of student wellness at the Student Center. This campus wouldn't be the same without you. Betty Jung. To Betty Jung, thank you for your passion in community outreach. Thank you for organizing our community health, and you are the foundation of our relationship with our community here at SUNY Downstate. I don't know if she's here today. And finally, thank you to the staff of the Student Center for your tireless commitment to helping us maintain our sanity and giving us ample opportunities to blow off steam. Thank you, everyone. Come on, Skylar. Represent the entire Student Center.
Nicole was here. I just saw her. Did she head out?
So one last round of applause for all of our award winners today. I look forward to seeing you all at Coney Island on Thursday. There is a small reception outside for your pleasure. Thank you again for attending. Congratulations again.